All right, welcome back, everybody, to Sideline Banter, episode 17. Ave, we're almost of age, as you mentioned earlier. That is exciting. We will be there next episode.
Are you guys going to do a shot when we're 21, or is it 18?
Well, we've been drinking beer this whole time, but yeah, I'll do a special shot for 21 and then 18 for the Euro listeners.
Yeah,
why not?
100%.
Any excuse we can get. But yeah, beautiful Saturday morning. Here we are. Abe, how you feeling? How you doing?
Feeling good. Feeling great. Tried to get my license renewed this morning, but DMV is closed because it's a holiday coming up on Monday.
Oh man! So I didn't even realize you didn't end up executing on that. I thought you just ended up having to do it in a different way.
No, I was on CPT just because I was on CPT, but yeah, I went to AAA today, and they were closed. They shut down the facilities because it's a federal holiday on Monday. So
that's funny. Miss Pam's gonna have to Google CPT. She's gonna give me a call. I found out what that is.
Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah. Cool. All right. I'm excited for this episode. Jessica, hello to you.
Hello.
You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. If you want to email me the agenda, that would be great.
Okay, it's in our text messages. Do you have your phone on you?
Yeah, I'll find it.
I don't know why that would change anything. You've never looked at one yet. I think you looked at last episode's though.
Yeah, I did. I followed along.
Nice.
I was able to chirp in a little bit more.
Let's go.
Thanks. Yeah, well, considering I didn't look at the agenda.
Yeah, it's okay if your news has the agenda.
We're gonna start with. Actually, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna switch it up. I have zero clue what's happening with the Sixers organization right now. And our last take on that got a lot of feedback. A lot of people were arguing with us. They were arguing with your guys' take on Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the room to, I don't know.
Air out the grievances.
I don't know. His name was rhymed with Spike or something.
Oh,
he was
right.
really angry.
Spike with an M.
Spike with an M.
Right.
So if you want to.
Name's not ringing a bell.
No.
Yeah. It hasn't changed. So what do you guys think? Actually, I'm sorry. The only thing that's changed is now Tyrese Maxey's hurt.
Yep, he's out for 2 weeks with the hammy.
Yeah.
For the young Sammy.
So we'll dive into the Sixers plenty when
get your butthole off the screen.
Don't you jump up there. What is he thinking about doing?
Keep it going. Keep it rolling.
We'll talk Sixers, I think, more in depth in the NBA segment, which is going to be first here. But if we stuck to just the Embiid situation now, I think one more thing that happened since the last episode is he actually got suspended.
Yeah.
He got suspended.
Special guest appearance from
the cat. He's going to take down the studio. He got suspended for 3 games for pushing a journalist.
Yeah.
That journalist wrote about his
dead brother
and son and how they wouldn't be proud of him.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily condone violence, but if that were me, I want to think I would do more than just have pushed him.
Yeah.
It's one thing, and I'm pretty sure journalists know, or at least that's what I've seen from
Unwritten
other
rule,
journalists. You don't bring up the dead ever, or people's family, really. And to say that they wouldn't be proud of him after, he's just a kid from Africa who's now a multi-millionaire, one of the greatest players to ever play basketball. I mean, in the grand scheme of if you played in the NBA, you're great, and he was an MVP. So that's a little harsh, in my opinion. Obviously, listen, you get to the granular level, you got to be playing games. The no back-to-backs is a pain. But again, as far as this suspension is concerned, I'm sure he's probably worth it.
Yeah.
Worth the 3-game suspension.
I'll take the fine, take the suspension. That guy will most likely never write the same articles, and won't write the same articles about someone else because of what he's going through. But it's just completely wrong, just unnecessary to bring up his brother's passed away in a car accident, I think his rookie year. And, he named his son after his brother. So this was just completely wrong, just unnecessary. And I would have done the same thing if I was Joel Embiid. Luke said, maybe worse than Joel Embiid. Maybe some fists might have been thrown, but it was just completely unnecessary. And it's just, I don't know. I don't like the NBA suspension of it. It's what do you want him to do? Just badmouth his brother, badmouth his son?
You can't push a reporter. Not that I understand the results are not that harmful. But
Yeah.
I think it has to just do with like the principle of like, if you don't do anything, that means it's available to do in the future based on what their opinion of your reaction was. Yeah, so then you have to like tiptoe in those waters.
What it all comes down to is sometimes these words, people have feelings and there's consequences for your actions.
I think that's where I got to the point where Embiid's probably just like, yeah, okay, I'm suspended, but I wouldn't have not done it.
Yeah.
I'd do it again if I could go back in time. But all that being said, I do want to, unless you have more, I do want to touch on like the actual playing and injury, because that's probably what people want to continue the conversation on. I'm assuming most people are going to agree with what we just said.
100%. I was just going to say, like, it's funny that like the NBA wants Embiid to play all these games and then suspended him 3 more games, which I guess is just, but I mean, it is kind of.
Yeah, maybe it's all part of the plan.
It's funny.
So, I mean, I guess do you want to lead off with the restarting of just the general Joel Embiid injury handling take? I mean, I'm happy to kind of go where we left off.
We've covered it mostly, but I mean, I would just continue that same conversation. It's like he's, reacting to how his body has been throughout his whole NBA career.
Yeah.
He's making the choice, or the team's making the choice. Someone's making that choice for him to stay healthy throughout the season, which is managing his load, and making sure that he's healthy for the playoffs, which is ultimately where we want to be.
Yeah.
But this start is not conducive to that at 1-7. So.
Yeah, we still got to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, I guess you're right. We did cover it enough, and people, I guess, are just going to have to disagree. But, like, I understand the aspect of, like, oh, he's not a tough guy because he doesn't want to play this, that, and the other, and, like, hard-nosed, old school, whatever. But he has done it. He played with the fractured face, and he's played, like, 65-plus games in a season. Not that that's impressive, but, like, it's enough games to say I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's making a decision strategically, we're going to get fined. You can't win MVP. You might not even be an all-star based on like games played, but you will play every game in the playoffs, and hopefully that works.
Yeah.
And we want to like if we win a championship, I wonder what people's opinions would be. There will still be some people who say he's still a pussy and he should. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, but they were right, and we have a championship now.
Yeah, or even if he's just healthy throughout the whole playoffs, then if they make it to like a conference finals run or whatnot, and he's healthy, he plays every single game, and he's one of the best players, which if he's healthy, statistically, he is one of the best players, it's all worth it. Give yourself a chance to win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's weird to look at it that way, but because like fantasy basketball comes into play. Gambling
comes into play.
Gambling comes into play. Like that's how people are hardwired. But within the organization, their goal is to win a championship. Right. And if you're like a real Sixers fan, that's your goal too. Not for Embiid to be better than Jokic this year, or for Maxey to win, MVP out of nowhere.
The only thing is, I would say for the fans that are paying, money, their own money to go to the games, we play every team once in their home stadium. So like if Joel Embiid's not playing, you're missing out on one of the best players in the NBA, which
that is true. Although I would say I believe the tickets are much cheaper these days because of that.
I don't know.
Like Maxey wasn't playing yesterday. Hannah B, who comes over and she was a guest, she goes all the time to Sixers games. And actually, I mean, this is my confirmation, so I'm not really sure, but she said like you could get next to this floor for like $100.
That's not
because all 3 of them weren't playing.
Yeah, but you're watching,
you're watching a G League game. Yeah,
that's the only caveat there.
But yeah, so no, you're right. We got to make the playoffs for this all to even matter. Yeah. And we'll talk about what our record is.
And even making playoffs, like home field advantage is definitely a thing in basketball, and certainly a thing in Philadelphia. If we're losing these games, we're not going to, and we crawl into the playoffs in like the 7th or 8th seed, it's going to be difficult going against one of the better teams in the East, and then not having home field advantage.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that says enough on that. Jessica, did you have anything else in your news or whatever fun trivia games?
So we'll just stick on the Philly sports for now because it is Eagles versus Dallas week, which is very fun. I'm curious if like in that, like we call it Dallas week. Does like the Cowboys call it Philly week?
Probably.
I don't know. If there's any Dallas fans that are out there, let me know. However, the only thing I want to note on this is I know we may have seen this because this was a really fun stat that came out, but more so on the Eagles themselves, but Saquon Barkley has as many Offensive Player of the Week awards with the Eagles as he did with his whole career with the Giants.
Wow.
And specifically broken down is he has 3 so far in 8 games with the Eagles, and he had 3 with New York after 74 games.
Although that's an awesome stat, it's surprising. Like I realized the Giants were worse than the Eagles, and like he's even just chemistry wise, not even player talent wise, he's doing better in Philadelphia. But he was like, everybody knew he was great, and for everybody to know he was great, he must have been great. So I'm still surprised that he only had 3 player of the weeks offensive player of the weeks in New York after like 4 or 5 seasons.
Right. Yeah, it's shocking to me as well.
Like
I would expect him to
he's been great as an Eagle, but I feel like he's had better games as a Giant.
Yeah.
He hasn't had the best game of his career as an Eagle, I don't think. Maybe. No, I don't think so.
That 170 in
yeah,
the Giants.
And 2. I think he had 2. But anyway, that's surprising to me.
It's very surprising, especially like you said, like he's played 74 games for the Giants, and we've known he's been great for a very long time. Surprising that, player of the week. Maybe players just had better weeks that week. He had a great week.
Well, then what does that mean for like this year though? Is he going crazy? 3 out of 8 weeks is insane. No, one way or the other, this statistic is weird.
Or maybe just getting more love in Philly. I don't know. National media.
People are more excited.
Or maybe people just more eyes on it. Maybe he has a great game, but the Giants lost.
Yeah, exactly. Hurts. Maybe he's more prone to give him the ball. Then who is the?
Well, that's what we're saying. We're saying as far as like statistically, Saquon has played these kinds of games before.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Jalen Hurts and the culture is like inclined to be like, he's the man.
Well, think about it. Like Nick Sirianni, how many times does he not just like kick a whatever?
Honestly, he's taken touchdowns away from Saquon.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I watched him do that.
It kind of hurts Saquon, the Jalen Hurts.
I just think he looks good.
No, it definitely hurts him as far as stats, but I feel like the nobody would really, they're happy for Saquon to be the face of the Eagles. No, I think everybody is happy for everyone else to be like, it could be AJ Brown, it could be
Devontae, yeah.
And
next man,
they all kind of just talk about each other every time they get interviewed. So
love the culture here that we got going on.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, 3 out of 8 is crazy, but so is 3 out of 74. So crazy in both directions.
True. Well, I'm going to shift it for a bit and then it'll conclude my segment, but I hate when they do this, but then I'm sort of interested. So this is maybe a week outdated, but they came out with the way too early 2025 MLB Power Rankings.
Nice.
So I can tell you, I believe, definitely interested. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did the full list, but we'll do like top 5.
Yeah.
Top five.
I'll just throw them to you guys and see what you think. So starting at number 5, we have the Cleveland Guardians.
Wow, interesting. Stephen Kwan is their center fielder, and he's the first center fielder since I think Ichiro to win a Gold Glove in his first 3 seasons.
Facts.
He's batting like 5,000 every year.
I'm surprised they're that high, but they do. Yeah, okay.
Number 4, the Baltimore Orioles.
Baltimore's back, dude. They're not even back. They're just like here right now. Yeah, they're so young.
I don't know how to feel about. They're so young and they're so. I don't know. They just they're not like a winner. It's not like a winning. It's like the Detroit Lions. It's like the Lions right now, kind of. Yeah. It's like
they're making
they're
noise.
So good.
Yeah.
They really are. Are we really thinking the Lions are going to go and win the Super Bowl? It's just weird to feel that way.
Yeah.
Like Dan Campbell. That's him, right?
Yeah.
He is changing that locker room to make it feel that way, maybe. But like in the 10 years ago, even if the Lions were like 10-2, you'd still be like, "That's
it's the Lions.
We'll be all right. They'll find a way to lose." And the Orioles just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel
the
like
roster's good. There's no holes. It's just they don't do it.
I feel like this was like their first year of like the come up as well. And then you add some vets into that mix with the youngins, and they'll be solid.
Yeah, I would say this was their first year of being the arguably the favorite going into the year with the Phillies and the Dodgers and maybe the Yankees. But it's not their first year of like being the best team at the end of the year. It's probably year 3 of like being a legitimately competitive team. So whatever, we'll see. But go ahead. I guess Orioles at four it was? Or, yeah, that's
Number
fine.
3, the San Diego Padres.
Oh, so no Phils.
No, I think it's going to be Phillies Dodgers, but we'll see.
No.
You think it's going to be Yankees?
Yankees,
yeah, but I don't think anyone thinks Soto's going back to the Yankees.
Really? That's the thing?
Yeah.
That's the word on the street is Soto's not going back to the Yankees?
I think he's going to the
Padres,
Mets, or Phillies.
Huh.
But I don't think the Phillies, we'll get that. We were going to talk about it. There's a reason I don't think he's going to go to Philly, but he might go to Philly.
Uh-huh.
Number 2, the Phillies.
Wow, no Yankees.
No Yankees, I think.
Huh.
Yep. Number 1, the Dodgers.
Dodgers.
The Doyers.
Now,
Yeah, I think that's a
I
good
respect
list.
that. I did not think the Phillies would make it, but I'm happy that they're there. But we've been on this trend downward since going to the World Series. So let's hopefully we get back there this year.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of like our core is, even if they choke, which happened, it's tough to like not rank them highly. Like the Schwarber, Turner, Harper, that's a ridiculous start. I mean, it's not Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, but the Dodgers are first. That's the difference. But like the Phillies roster they're bringing back is good, and I think they're going to make some decent moves, hopefully for like a good hitting outfielder.
What about
Soto?
What about a bullpen pitcher?
See, that's the thing. Our bullpen was good all year.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have traded away Sir Anthony. I don't know why we did that.
Yeah.
He was decent, and we got Austin Hayes, who was nobody.
Mhm.
But anyway,
Couldn't even see the field.
I can't argue with those. I mean, I can argue a little bit with those rankings, but not really. It's way too early. That's what it
Yeah,
said.
the
There's going to be
Yankees
so
are
many
9.
moves.
Yankees
and the
are
Mets
ninth?
are 18.
Wow.
Now, this is just the analyst doing their
Yeah.
projected.
Well, yeah, but
Went to
I mean,
the World Series and then
Pete
outranked
Alonso's a free agent, so he has to resign or not.
Yeah.
So I think it's taking all that into consideration.
Okay.
Corbin Burns with Baltimore was their ace this year, and he's on a 1-year contract, so he's a free agent.
Mhm.
Oh wait, are we gonna talk? Oh, you got me juiced up on baseball. It's been a while, Jessica. I don't think I even have any MLB.
Oh, we're good money.
Oh yeah, we do.
Oh, we're not good money.
Oh no, we don't.
You're on the wrong thing.
No, I'm on 17.
Maybe you copy and pasted.
No, okay, all right. So I can elaborate a little bit further on baseball. Yeah, Max Fried from Atlanta.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we're not going to talk baseball. We just finished the World Series. Max Fried from Atlanta is a free agent.
Okay.
Maybe Profar, who was really good in San Diego. But yeah, there's some. I think the Phillies are going to probably target Corbin Burns. I don't think they can get Soto because he's going to be like a $550 to $650 million contract.
That number is ridiculous.
Probably between like 11 to 13 years.
Yeah.
And the problem is, like, even if we wanted to sign him, what does that mean for Harper now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Harper's half that. Harper signed like 13 for 330 or something like that, which at the time was big.
Times change.
Juan Soto's the same age as Harper was when we signed him.
Mhm.
I think 26. And Soto's numbers are better than Harper's were at this point in their
And he's a World
careers.
Series champion.
But why
Yeah.
do people think strongly that we are in the running for him then?
Because
we have to give
we don't have to give up anybody. He's a free agent. We just have to tell him we want him.
And spend a lot of
Middleton
money.
has to spend the money.
But there's
And-
no cap in baseball. So
No.
in
correct.
theory,
But
he
he's
could.
prone to do it. And we show up, so he makes a lot of money off the fans.
You just
But
think Bryce will feel bad because he's going to get like half of what
even Trey is in the same like 35 million,
Yeah.
which is a ton. It's just like,
times change. I mean, the
Yeah.
money, like the TV deals when they hit,
and Soto's better than Harper. Like, what do you want me
Yeah,
to say?
yeah.
At this point in their careers, he's 26
Yeah.
and Harper's 31 or 2. Harper's great. I love him. Happy to have him.
Mhm.
I'd put him on. I'd sign him over any other first baseman. Not pure talent, but just like I
Freddie.
want him on my team.
Oh,
I just
It's
but
just like
I'm
a
happy
baseball
to
guy.
have
Yeah,
Harper.
yeah,
But Juan Soto has the best bat in the league, I think.
yeah. He's got the best eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, but it seems like Bryce Harper truly wants to win. I
Yes.
feel like he would welcome
Right.
that.
Which is why I'm just saying, like, it would be awkward to have Harper have half the contract as another guy on your team, and he's your man. I don't know.
Not if he wants to win a World Series.
Which I think he does want to win because he hasn't won yet, and he's like you said, he's 31, 30.
And I guess to your point, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's
you
just
gotta
like-
sign somebody, and like, even if they sign somebody who wasn't great, he might get the $35 million that Harper gets,
Right.
And he's not as good, but that's
yeah.
where the contracts are now.
Yeah, times change. Money. The money always
Yeah.
goes up. The TV deals, whatever, or ticket sales, everything goes up. And it's
Like
just,
Santander from Baltimore is a free agent.
Yeah.
He's a switch hitter. I think he hit like 40 plus bombs, and he's going to maybe get 30 to 40 million.
It's just a sign of the times. Yeah, it's just what it is.
3 or 4 years, not 10, but
just unlucky that your time wasn't now,
Yeah, born
but I mean,
early.
You got 40 mils or whatever.
Yeah.
40 million years.
Better than like the 40s when they were playing for like popsicles.
Peanuts and chocolate bars.
All right, cool. So is that are we good to move forward with the episode,
Yes, sir.
Jessica? Thank you very much for your new segment. Opening this episode 17, we're going to hop into the NBA, which I don't think we covered very thoroughly last week, Abe. We skipped over it and forgot to go back. So that's okay. It's the beginning of the season.
We're just 2 weeks in. We've got
to all the diehard
6 more months of basketball going on.
Exactly. It's all the diehard NBA people. We apologize. That being said, I saw a list and it was somewhat surprising. I think it's still accurate. I'm taking a quick look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is teams with 2 losses or less, and
Mhm.
it's the same as last week. So,
Well, and the Warriors just played one of these teams. Well, Warriors just played the Cavs last night.
and got their second.
Oh my gosh!
loss.
Yeah, they got blown out.
Which is crazy because last time the Cavs were 8-0 when I wrote this up. Now they're 10-0.
Yeah.
So anyway, spoiler, but the Cleveland Cavaliers 10-0, Boston Celtics 8-2. Phoenix Suns 8-1, Oklahoma City Thunder 8-1, and the Golden State Warriors 7-2. So I'd say out west, I'm not all that surprised. The Warriors, I guess, always surprised me a little bit as far as like being that dominant. I always think like, they'll hang around because Steph's there, but he's getting older and Draymond is
Green.
Well,
Draymond Green.
Well, I was gonna say Draymond is graying. Right?
He's graying, though.
Yeah, I know. So, but to be 7-2, I guess, is somewhat surprising. But
Buddy Hield looks fantastic in a Warriors uniform as well.
Yeah, which is annoying
because he didn't do that for the Sixers.
He and Steph they're 1-2 for most 3-pointers made in the past 4 years.
Uh-huh.
So that's a pretty lethal combo there.
Splash Brothers Reloaded 2.0.
Yeah, but can you talk to me a little bit about the Cavaliers? Because
Cavaliers are good and young.
Yeah.
And they're playing great basketball. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland's a great backcourt. My only issue with them is they're undersized. I think Donovan Mitchell's like 6'4" and Garland's like 6'1".
As guards, they're undersized, but not as a team.
I mean, they've got Mobley, they've got Jared Allen, and I forget who the third starter is, maybe Okoro. They're very, very talented, very, very young. It's crazy that they started off 10-0. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Cleveland, but I am a little nervous in the playoffs because of that size.
Are they
deficiency.
like the 2016 to 2020 Raptors?
2016 to 2020 Raptors.
I guess not 2019 because they won it all. But
Yeah. I just think
the LeBronto Raptors.
Yeah. I just think they're you talking about like in the playoffs are going to
just like you can finish or like
regular
Utah
season
Jazz
be great
for the past 10 years where they've been like top 4 seed in the East, but never really gonna.
I mean, I just think they're young, they're exciting, they're fun. I'm just worried about their size in the playoffs because, like I said, Donovan Mitchell's like 6'4", and he's really athletic, but like those two guards trying to guard bigger guards in the East is going to give them some issues in playoffs.
So you'd rather be, and obviously 8-1 is a great place to be, but you'd rather be a Celtics fan at 8-1 than be like, oh, I'm the Cavs. Like even if you were a Cavs fan, you wouldn't be saying we're the best team in the league right now.
I mean, you can say you're the best team in the league right now, but the Celtics are the reigning champions. They're just playing really great basketball as well, and they've got Tatum, Brown. I mean, they got superstars, and they're 6'7", 6'8". They got big guards, and they play so well. Their coaches is putting them in the right positions to win. They look scary for the future because they're also not that old either.
So how would you rank all 5 of these teams then? We have 8-1 Celtics, 10-0 Cavs.
Dude, have you been watching the Suns? Budenholzer's doing a job over there.
Booker's scoring a bunch. Which, like, of course, but it's always questionable with all of those scorers there. Yeah. I guess Beal is really taking a third wheel.
He's taking a third wheel. I watched a little bit of the game last night. He doesn't get as many shots as he used to when he's playing with the Wizards, when he has his own team. But he's, I guess, finding like a more defensive role and just like filling in the gaps because like he can still score. He's a great shooter. He can do everything. But Kevin Durant is just like, I saw this one tweet and it's just like Kevin Durant literally just like walks through the first half, see if anybody else wants to score, and then he just takes over in the third and fourth. And he pretty much did that last night. I think they played the Mavs. Maybe
it was the Mavs.
And KD and Kyrie went crazy in the fourth quarter. I don't know if you watched any of the highlights. They're going back and forth. They're going band for band. And KD, he just pulled it out. I don't know how many points he had in the fourth, but he was awesome. But if I'm going to rank these guys, I would probably go with Celtics first, Suns second, Cavs third, the Thunder, a bunch of young guys as well. They're very electric to watch. Thunder fourth, and the Warriors in fifth.
I think I would do the same, except I'm sorry to the Cavs. I'd move them down to fourth, and I move the Thunder up
to third. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of a similar situation. I just believe, I feel like the Thunder, that young core knows each other even better and has done it for a little bit better and longer. Maybe same amount of time, but they were the 1 seed last year, or tied for it.
They were the 1 seed, yeah.
And they've only
SGA's
improved.
a MVP candidate basically every year. He's improved every single year. They're great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, from the top of the table down to the bottom, I wanted to bring up Milwaukee and Philly, both with, I believe, only one win on the season, at least at the time of this. Yeah. When I type this, they might have two now, but
Milwaukee won the other night. Yeah.
Regardless, they're at the bottom of the East.
Yeah.
Two generally powerhouse teams of the past 5 years. Obviously, Philadelphia is not doing well because there's no Paul George or Embiid, and Maxey actually just got hurt too, so he's going to be out for 2 weeks, which is why we were alluding to hopefully they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That we kind of covered that. We still can touch on it if you'd like, but more interestingly, I want to talk about the Bucks because Celtics won the championship last year with Drew Holiday, who was traded from the Bucks, where he had also won a championship. And I don't know how much influence Giannis had on it. I hear it was a decent amount, but wanting to move Holiday to get Lillard.
Yeah.
And Lillard, I think he's been hurt since being there on and off, but I also think he's underperforming.
Yeah.
So what's going on in Milwaukee? Because that duo should have been awesome.
I think there's a lot going on in Dame Lillard's life. I'm not saying that's affecting his basketball, but I think he got divorced and then he moved across the whole country. So it's got to be a thing. He's got kids. I don't know how that works out. And he has not played up the par, played up the snuff with the Bucks so far. He had last night, their last game, they both had 30. So Giannis and Dame had 30. But they've also got Doc Rivers as their coach.
Yeah, it's been bad since he got there, actually. Because remember, you're right. They were the 1 seed with this duo of Dame and Giannis. And then they, for some reason, it was like the assistant coach was an interim head coach or something. And then they, instead of signing him to stay, they brought in Doc or something along those lines.
Yeah, it was something weird.
And he has at the end of the season, they've been very bad
since Doc took over. Yeah, and then they've got the addition of Darwin Ham this season, so he's back with the Bucks. But Doc Rivers, he's a good regular season coach. But
I don't know.
I think he's overrated. In the playoffs.
I think he's overrated.
He might be. I mean, that Celtics team in 2008 is like the longest run. Like they have gotten so much out of that one ring, more than any other team has.
And him personally.
Yeah, he's gotten so many jobs.
But I remember, when I think NBA championship, when I think NBA finals, I visualize 2008 Celtics championship, KG with the hat.
Anything is possible.
So
that's probably one of my first times I actually remember the finals.
Yeah, that might be my first conscious finals. I remember when D Wade won it in 2006, but I can't visualize clips from it.
No, I can't either. But yeah, the Bucks, they're just, I don't know. I think they'll figure it out. They've got, I would say, maybe the best player in the NBA with Giannis.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out. They'll be really good in the regular season. But playoff time, Doc Rivers, I am not impressed by what he's done these past, 16 years after that championship. So I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Bucks and the Sixers. But for now, they are poorly at the bottom of the Eastern Conference standings. A couple of just, I guess, more fun things to talk about. Clay, I think he tweeted a picture of him and Doncic and said, "My new splash, bro." That's tough. Maybe find a different nickname. Because that was just, I don't know. Does Clay want to be the villain? He kind of likes that. I don't think
it's just a weird dude.
I don't think it's that deep, but it is you and Steph will always be the splash bro. They can't, even Buddy Hield, who like I said, is number 2 in 3-pointers made in the past 4 years. Not new Splash Bros.
No.
So, I mean, again, I don't think it was that deep, but I just saw it, him and Luca, and I'm just like, I don't know. Come up with a different one.
I just thought of a weird connection, but Klay Thompson and Buddy Hield are both from the Bahamas, or their parents are both from the Bahamas. They have some Bahamian heritage. So Steph just like swapped in another Bahamas brother for the Splash Bro. Well,
That's
not
cool.
Splash Bro.
I didn't
We gotta
know
call
that
it something
about
different.
I didn't know that about Clay. I knew that about Buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I like the Maverick squad though. That team that went to the finals last year. I think they're not having. I think they're like 5-3 this to start out the season. They're not having the best run, but it's still not bad.
Yeah.
But that combination of Kyrie and Luka, they can just take over at any given time. It's pretty fun to watch in the fourth quarter.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. Like it. I think that team last year, it was a good losing experience in a sense. I think Kyrie and Luka this is going to be year 3 or 4 of them together.
I think it's 2 or 3.
I think it's at least 3. So I will call it year 3 together. Like year 1, there were some growing pains, and then year 2, there was like some lessons learned as far as like, okay, we like each other, we can play together. Let's see how this goes. I think in year 3, there's that chemistry will be there very much so. They've proven to each other that they can both score on the same night. They can both, Luka's happy to give Kyrie the ball and let him dribble however he wants to, this, that, and the other. So I think this year's looking upwards for the Mavs.
And I was skeptical. I didn't think it would work out. They're 2 ball-dominant players, but it's working out so far. They obviously went to the finals last year, and they're looking to go back this year. But it's just a great combo to watch. Like one guy can just like turn it on, and then the other guy can turn it on. Like they're so hard to defend.
Yeah, they're both like ironically ball dominant, but happy, like selfless at the same time. They're happy to pass the ball. They just are comfortable with it in their hands
because they know they're the best player on the court.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So another cool thing that happened for the viewers, you can see on our wall, we have the
DC.
Vince Carter's jersey hanging in our rafters, but in Toronto, he was honored. I guess it was just the Raptors Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and his number got retired.
So it was a pretty cool banner got raised up. The meme came out of it because he's like, it's just a funny reaction from Vince. Yeah, I mean, it was genuine and cool, but everything turns into a meme these days.
Sorry.
But then Drake was at that game, and they happened to be playing the Kings, where DeMar DeRozan plays, who is from Compton, and was in a Kendrick Lamar music video that was dissing Drake.
They are not like us.
They're not like us. So Drake. So DeMar DeRozan
move all time.
DeMar DeRozan played for the Raptors, for those of you who don't know, for most of his career, and is a Raptors legend.
Yeah, I would say so. He just ran into LeBron.
He just ran into LeBron. So, but when they raised that Vince Carter banner, Drake made a statement about like, they better not do it for DeRozan because I'll go up there and like take it down or whatever. And
tough guy, eh?
Yeah, tough guy. And DeRozan, like being from Compton and actually being a Toronto legend, was like, don't really care. It's a long way up there. Good luck. And then, by the way, dropped like 33 that night against Toronto with Drake right there. Yeah. So hats off to DeRozan. Drake's corny. I mean,
Drake is super corny for that.
Yeah.
The music's still good, but bro, what are we doing now?
Yeah. And he's like a real professional athlete. This isn't your rap beef and he just make more money.
Shows up to the game and just like mean mugs him the whole game.
Yeah, like, with his boy. He's like staring him down. Yeah.
It's like a 12-year-old. Like, why?
Wow,
like,
nice goal.
Absolutely no reason.
Fulham is cooking.
Did you see it? Did you see his he had 2. So he got subbed on in the 82nd minute one game. They were down 2-0. He scored 2 goals.
Oh wow! No, who is that? I don't even know who that is.
Wilson. I think he's Scottish or something.
He looks Irish.
Maybe Irish. His name's not Wilson. I forget his name, but yeah, he had a great game. Like they subbed him on 82nd minute. He scored 2, brought him back.
I didn't realize Adama plays for Fulham now. Oh, it's a handball. All right. So anyway, yeah, a little bit of Drake and DeRozan beef. That was. I just think that's funny. Like Drake, I don't know how big Drake is, but like DeRozan is probably 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, he's like at least 6'6". Drake's probably like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah. So I don't know. I wouldn't beef with an NBA basketball player who plays with James Johnson.
No, he's on the Pacers. Okay. That's a guy. Did you see what he said? He said he would beat John Jones in UFC.
By proper training.
He said he's so good with the striking. He's like, he's not even getting near me. Like he might get me in the wrestling, but the striking, I'm definitely winning that battle.
How can you believe that though? I want to. I
James
think
Johnson's
cool.
a scary dude, bro.
I know he is, but
John Jones is the scariest.
What do you mean? He beat up like
like
scarier people than James. Listen, I understand. He's 27-0 in MMA. Did you know
27-1-0? He's got a no contest.
James Jones is a basketball player who has a professional MMA career. He plays for the Pacers, but he's 27-0 in professional fighting, and or 1-0, and he just said he could beat John Jones if he had training. Which is, I mean, I don't know. It's funny, but
I feel like this is the issue with what's his face, who's
Floyd
fighting.
Mayweather?
No, Logan Paul. That was his brother.
Huh?
Jake Paul
Jake Paul
fighting Mike Tyson.
Yeah, like I know that Jake Paul is actually a really good fighter now, but it didn't start that way. He wasn't really good. He was just being like a dumb kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then it told like this random generation, like, yeah, I can probably do that. And it just takes away. We always say this. There's literally like levels to professionals.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to clarify though. James
Johnson's actually like a
Johnson,
Oh, he's
legit,
good?
like
he's
a karate.
27-0 in
I don't
professional
understand.
fighting.
Does he
I don't
play
think he's professional.
basketball?
In MMA, yeah,
Really?
100%.
I don't
I just
know
saw
about
it. He's.
I think that's John Jones' record.
No.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Okay. No, but like he's been like his whole life has been like that's like what he started with first.
Oh,
like since
okay.
he was born, he was basically
like,
in the gym.
accidentally-
Yeah,
He
but John Jones is
became
like
an-
arguably one of the best.
It's
so-
not even like arguably like he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like maybe the greatest combat athlete ever.
Yeah.
Dana White will say without a
Mhm.
doubt, he's the best combat in any
White.
situation. He will tell you that John Jones is the absolute best combat athlete of all time. He's a beast though.
Oh, okay.
But
He said he was 20-0. But
Okay.
apparently, there's no
record.
There's
of it.
no record.
I mean,
But like I know in the NBA, people fear him.
yeah. I was about to say the same thing. It's like it's known around the league that like that's one guy you don't want any
Like
confrontation
when there's
with.
scuffles,
Funny.
that people, anybody
Yeah,
walks
yeah.
away from him. Like
Yeah.
they're like he will beat up everyone.
Yeah, and I think it's like kickboxing as well. So like
Yeah.
you keep your distance.
It is.
Like yeah,
Yeah. It's kickboxing. I remember seeing. Yeah. Anyway, he won't beat John Jones.
no, you won't be John Jones. But it wouldn't be that fun to watch. But it's
John
it's
Jones
not
would
that fun.
destroy him. There's just levels. Trying to think of something, but no. Anyway, he's a great fighter, but he's not beating John Jones. And then, so last little thing, Bronny got sent to the G League,
Went to the G,
which is where he should be. Hopefully, he can develop there.
he scored his first bucket though on like I don't know if we talked about it in the last episode, but he's got that corny LeBron move where it's like the hezzy and
Yeah.
he just stepped into the jumper.
Yeah.
It's so funny that that's his first bucket. In the
So
NBA.
is that it? Is that his only bucket?
I don't know. That's
I'm surprised. It
that's the
looked like
first
a
bucket.
nice little shot.
Yeah.
And then they didn't send him down for like another 6 games. But I guess I'm sure he doesn't play every game.
No,
so.
he hasn't really played that much. But they're down by like 40 in that game when he hit the bucket.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like the Chris Paul meme. I forget what it's like.
Anybody got any more NBA?
I want to shout out Ja Morant, one of the greatest
my gosh.
athletes I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
But did you see he had 2 360 layups in one game?
I think I only saw the one.
Bro, they were both. He looked like he was gonna come up and dunk it, and then he just like did a full 360 and laid it up with his other hand. Like it's
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
bro. He had 2, like he was SC top 10 for 2 plays.
Yeah, he's very, very athletic.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Would you say he's the most athletic player you've ever seen play the game of basketball?
No, but he's the most athletic right now. I've said since his rookie year, he reminds me of Russ.
Okay.
But I think prime Russ was still more athletic than this Morant. But it's close.
Yeah, I feel like prime Russ is just like he's like a bigger dude. Like I feel like Ja Morant's like skinny and he's like a string bean.
Yeah,
and
but
like
strength has to do with athleticism. So like,
Yeah.
I think that's why I put Russ over, because he's bouncing over people the way Ja is, and he's spinning and all that stuff. But
and
he's
still
also
got that
strong.
muscle. Yeah. But Ja's not weak. And
No,
he's
no,
dunking
no,
over
he's
people
not.
crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
and it's like you don't actually see the opportunity, and then he's like up way over
Yeah.
the defense. You're like, wait, how did you even? At what point did you even take the power step to jump? And
yeah,
then
like he doesn't need anything to lift off. He just
No.
like gets there right away.
Yeah, like off of a spin move.
And he's so
Just jump
fast
straight
too.
up.
Like it makes no sense how he moves like
Yeah.
every direction, and then it's just like a springboard with like no run up to it. It's just like I'm taking off now. Meet me
Yeah.
at the rim.
And he's good at adjusting in the air. He doesn't always try to slam it.
It's so smooth,
He's very good. Very, very good. Nick Perez, my roommate, was always pro Morant over Williamson. Zion.
Okay.
And like even in college, like before they were drafted, he was like, you have to take Ja. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You have to take Ja. And he went second, and he was still not high enough. He was right, but how can you not take Zion?
I mean, do you think Zion would have been, if he went to a different city, do you think imagine he went to like Utah or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Zion's a weird case because if you look at his stats, he averages like super efficient numbers.
He just doesn't
25, 26 game, 10, 11 rebounds.
He's playing with BI. Like
that team ends up being good when everybody plays.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird place to send him, New Orleans. Like he's probably just eating so much food.
So much good food down there, bro.
Obviously, he'd be popular in any city, but like there's no one else.
And he's a wild boy.
He's
a wild boy.
You know, we get into some content on Sideline Banter, but we're going to stay away from Zion Williamson. Yeah, that's how wild boy he is. So we're going to leave that alone. But yeah, no. So Ja Morant is crazy. As Zion's crazy athletic. He's another one that you'd want to throw in.
But he put on them LBs.
I know, but he can still jump. He's like the opposite of Russ.
Did you hear what Draymond said about playing against Zion Williamson? He's like, every single day whenever I play against him, like the next day I wake up sore, pause. He's it's a big boy. Like he bangs around. He's super athletic and he's strong as hell. Yeah.
Holy cow.
He went deep into the balls game.
Draymond, relax.
Yeah. But I can see it though. Like that's a man, you know?
I would not want to defend Zion. That's a thick man. Golly. Hi, buddy. Come lay down right here. All right. Joe Rogan talks to his dog sometimes on the podcast, so it's okay to talk to the cat.
Okay. He's got to talk back. Dr. Doolittle type.
Yeah. I need a soft blanket or he won't lay down. All right. Let's go to the NFL. We're going to start this segment off similarly to the way we started the NBA. Just talk through some of the better teams across the league. So right now, 2-loss or better teams. We have the Kansas City Chiefs. The Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles,
the Birds,
the Washington Commanders,
good football team,
the Minnesota Vikings, the Buffalo Bills, and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Let's just say fraud or not fraud.
Okay.
Or because I don't want to. We don't need to go into every roster situation.
You want to go? Let's go every other one. So I'll take the first one. KC, not fraud. They got Patrick Mahomes back there. 15?
Yeah, and 8, dude. That's changing their offense.
Okay.
D-Hop is
yeah.
All right. I'll just say with you or not with you. So I'm going to say with you on that one.
Okay.
Detroit, not a fraud. I think that the Amon-Ra and Goff link up is incredible. Those 2 running backs.
I was about to say, them boys back
Gibbs and Montgomery, Sonic and Knuckles. They are legit and crazy. And honestly, they haven't even really unlocked Laporta yet this year. So I think they can get even more explosive. So I'm going to say Detroit is legit.
I'm with you, brother.
Nice.
I'm with you, brother. Philly.
Imagine.
Ugh.
Oh, you're going to think about this.
I am thinking about this one. They're trying to lose football games actively at the moment.
Right.
They get a big lead and then they forget how to play football, or they can't figure it out in the first half and then they pour it on you in the second half. They are an enigma right now. I am going to say they're for real, but it's concerning a little bit. I mean, I know we're 6-2 or whatever it is, but I'm concerned about how we're playing football game, or how we're winning at least.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
they're legit. The only thing I'll say is, because that was your segment, but the only thing I'll say is I think it's been getting better. The last 2 games, they seem more confident. Yeah, the points from Jacksonville were all in 3 minutes blunder, but that can lose you a game for sure. It just happened to not.
And imagine we're playing a team that's not the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Philly's legit.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Okay. Washington Commanders.
Already know.
I'm saying last time we said not legit. I'm gonna say legit.
Yeah,
I really am because their offense is consistently putting up numbers, and their defense is looking stronger and stronger. I know some statistics might say otherwise about their defense, but they're keeping them in games. I mean, that Hail Mary win, it was like a 15-18 game, and they're good enough to win. So I'm going to stay legit on the Commanders.
I'm with you. I have nothing more to say. They're top of the NFC East right now. We're going to see them next Thursday. I'm with you. They are a good football team.
All right.
Minnesota. I'm going to say they are not legit.
Wow.
Yeah. I love their record. They started off the gates very, very hot. They got Jay Jettis. The problem back. Aaron Jones is great, having a really good year. But they, in my opinion, are not legit.
I am with you. And you've said enough. So we'll move on to Buffalo. Buffalo Billiards. Legit, for sure. Mr. Milkcheck himself, Josh Allen, really cool guy, really cool story. Not really heavily recruited. Now one of the best NFL quarterbacks.
He was sending his tapes to college teams to recruit them. Yeah. Insane.
So I just think kind of like the Mahomes situation. You got 17. You got 17 on your team. You got a chance. And I think the chemistry with the receivers are starting to get, losing Diggs, and they have Keon Coleman, who's a rookie, and then Shakir's got to take on a bigger role. They lost Gabe Davis. Kincaid's young, and he's got to take on a bigger role. They brought in Amari Cooper. I think that chemistry is starting to figure itself out.
And James Cook's a great running
back.
Oh,
yeah, James Cook's been great.
So their defense is playing well. I don't know how, but they're figuring it out.
Yeah, so Buffalo, legit.
Buffalo's legit. Pittsburgh is, it's just, come on, bro. Do you know who their coach is? You got Mike Tomlin over there on that sideline. They're always going to be legit. That defense is for real. They switched quarterbacks midway through the season. They're still picking it up. They're actually playing better offensively. Russell's been good. He's been solid. And it's Pittsburgh. They play winning football. They're always going to be a winning football team, a winning football franchise. I got them as legit.
Yeah, that one's tough. I'm glad you went. I don't know. I'm going to just say I'm not with you for controversy. Here's what I'll say. You're right about Tomlin. I just don't. Man, I think having Russ at quarterback makes them legit, even though I think Justin Fields is talented. But I really don't like their weapon. I think Pickens is very talented. I just don't know that he's like a good wide receiver. I think he's
not
like
a wide receiver one.
Yeah, he might be talent-wise, but I don't know. Maybe like a T. Higgins thing where it's like you need a Jamar Chase.
He just doesn't move the needle.
Yeah, he's very, very, very good, but something about, I don't know, and I could be wrong there. Najee Harris, I'm out on.
He's playing in jeans all the time.
Tomlin, then you, again, like you said, you got to think Tomlin, he can make that work with good offensive and defensive line work, and Russell Wilson.
The defense is going to keep him in the games.
Yeah, and then you have Russ, who's like,
he's
put up 15 points a game, which is enough to win for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still going to say not legit because I don't think they're going to compete in the playoffs. But good segment nonetheless. And I could be wrong about that.
Mm-hmm.
Going from team performance and great performance, I want to have a little mid-season MVP race here. So we're going to go to player performance. And Jessica, you can chime in if you'd like. I put a couple of options in here, but
I know mine.
I would say Lamar, Derrick Henry, Mahomes, Daniels, and Allen are probably the top 5 front runners. Depending on how Saquon keeps doing, he's almost going to sneak in there, being so good. Anybody else come to mind, or is anyone standing out here for sure?
Standing out for me. I know Mahomes is 9-0, and he's the best player on the best football team, but it's not a Mahomes-esque season, so I don't think I would put him in the conversation. As weird as that sounds, that's
not even in the conversation.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think his numbers deserve it, even though they're winning football games. But for me, the Ravens kind of stand out. Both those two players on the Ravens, when you're talking about Lamar Jackson, and then you're talking about Derrick Henry, who's having one of his better, maybe his best season. I don't know if we can compare it to like his previous season with the Titans, but he's been unreal.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more with what you just said.
Yeah.
I think you got to put Mahomes in the conversation. Winning matters, but I think he comes in third out of those 3 every time. I'm not exactly sure what kind of season Allen is having, but Burrow, if they won more, should be a part of this as far as his individual performance is concerned. But I mean, you can't lose. You can't lose like that. I mean, I guess you can.
He did.
He did. And then, he lost to Lamar Jackson, who's in this conversation. So that's like a major game, major swing there. So you could argue Burrow, but I think the Bengals just aren't winning enough, which again isn't necessarily his fault, but MVP
is part of the conversation. Yeah, it's part of the.
I think I would go Lamar and maybe Henry, and I mean I'm rooting for Saquon to just absolutely go off.
Yeah,
I think he may this weekend with Dallas week coming up. So, Jessica, did you have any MVP thoughts that we didn't think of? I mean, it might be that obvious that it's Lamar Jackson so far this year, but
I think there's like.
But I did see Lamar Jackson give a little girl his hat. And I thought that was very nice of him.
This past Thursday?
Yeah, she like made a sign and was like basically like, I love you so much. And they were right at the front when they run into the tunnel. And he stopped and he gave her the hat.
Yeah, he's a good dude. And that game was freaking awesome. I guess we can kind of jump into that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Thursday night football
this past Thursday.
Division rivalry.
Ravens, Bengals. An AFC North rivalry. And it was a crazy game. Most notably, Jamar Chase, 11 catches, 264 yards, and 3 tugs.
God bless you if you're going against him in fantasy this week.
Yeah. I texted Neil.
Delete
because,
the app.
Neil is playing Alex, who has Chase Brown and Jamar Chase. Mm-hmm. So I think they combined for 78 points. Jamar Chase had 55 and a half of those 78. And I just said, hey, Neil, you got the weekend off. You don't even have to watch football. That's great. It's
going to be beautiful, I hope.
Yeah,
so take a walk or something.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy your Sunday calmly by the water because no need to be inside watching. You've lost this week. But yeah, tough start. I had Lamar, which was nice. But I mean, a 55 out of anybody, but particularly a wide receiver is like, wow, Alex is going into this weekend sky high.
So we'll talk about this later, but we're playing each other in fantasy football this week. And Lamar had like 5 points at halftime. I was like, all right, this is looking pretty good for me. And then he comes out the second half.
Oh, yeah. Dude, and I
What
had him a
performance.
part of a parlay, and I had him for 224 yards throwing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at halftime he had like 52. And he had like 14
nervous,
points. And I was like, wow, what's going on here? And they weren't really rushing the ball either. Like Derrick Henry. It was a weird first half.
Mm-hmm.
And the second half was just
Points.
Second half was like exactly what a kid dreams a football game's going to be.
Like you're playing Madden or something.
Yeah. And so the Ravens ultimately won, but the performances from Burrow and Chase Brown and Jamar Chase, incredible.
Dude, shout out to Burrow. So this is his Burrow stats. 428 yards, 4 touchdowns, 34 for 56 in terms of completions.
Wow.
Attempts,
56 attempts.
His arm is a little bit sore that on Friday morning.
Yeah, so he broke 400 yards, threw for 4. So he's still going to be leading the league for yards and touchdowns and all that jazz. So if the Bengals start winning and make the playoffs, he'll be in the MVP race. But they've had a weird season as far as winning's concerned. Week 9 highlights. Is that what we want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, there was one play out of Philly that turned some heads. Actually, 2 plays, I would say, but one was way more impressive than the other. But we talked about him before, but Saquon Barkley caught a pass out the backfield, made 2 guys miss. He ended up facing his own goal line and has like the wherewithal to hurdle over a defender and then get smacked up. But he cleared over the player he hurdled, and incredible play. I saw a couple of videos from the sidelines of all the Eagles players going crazy. It was just like mind blowing, like that he had the wherewithal to jump over that player.
Yeah, I was at the game on Sunday, so I remember my friends that I was there with. We watched it, and we all stood up like it was a touchdown. We were like, "Oh my gosh!" And we were, at least me personally, I was trying to figure out like, am I overreacting, or was that the greatest play I've ever seen? And the way the like media is covering it, and the way I've seen, like you said, the Eagles, even the football players who are there with him every day were like, this ninja's crazy. That was unreal.
It's close.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. But like it made me feel good about like being like, whoa, that's nuts, because even they were like, wow, Saquon is a different animal. If you have not seen the reverse hurdle, Jessica, you want to mark this down because we're going to go back in. We can upload a video of him doing it or an image, but it'll be right here. The hurdle was insane. Yeah, crazy talent. Ultimately won, and Hurts played a great game, I thought, in that the whole game, except for the pick, I guess. But great touchdown throw to Saquon. Obviously, a great touchdown throw to Devontae.
What a catch. That's the other play I wanted to say.
Yeah, that one-handed catch.
Oh, my God. And get the feet in?
Yeah. That first touchdown throw to Saquon, that was maybe like 30 yards to the right pylon. It was so cool. Like, he threw that way before Saquon was even looking. Yeah, like he hadn't even... I think what happens there, I never played, live football like that, but essentially Hurts looks left so that the DBs like are pulled that way, sees that Saquon's matched up with a linebacker and just essentially knows, okay, I'll throw this now. And by the time it gets there, he'll have outpaced the linebacker and there's no DB to help. So I'm going to throw this ball. But he just like lofted it up there and Saquon just like swooped right on. It was really cool to watch live. Because I watched it back on TV and I don't know, we're spoiled with how standard that looks, but it's not as easy as it looks when we're watching it on TV. Anyway, Hurts had a great game. Better than Devontae's catch, the Garrett Wilson catch. Thoughts? That's the one-handed joint, and then he... I guess knee hit the ground. I thought they were going to rule it not a catch.
Which one is this? This isn't a Thursday night football game? Is this Thursday night?
2 Thursdays ago. Did we already talk about it?
I don't think so. No. Well, he had 2 of those that game. Like he had one where he was. So this one was in the end zone.
Yeah.
So this one, I'm thinking of the one before where he's at like the 20 and like he's not really open, but like Aaron Rodgers throws it to like his right arm and he's like fully covered. He snags it in. And then the defender tries to tackle him, misses him, and then he just walks into the end zone.
I don't know if I saw that one. I saw the one where he like kind of like Odell's it.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, and then he double tapped his left foot.
Okay.
So I didn't think it was going to count. And like I stopped watching it live when that happened.
Yeah.
But then I guess his knee hit, so they counted.
Yeah. It was like his shin or something.
Yeah.
I remember that one. Yeah. No,
anyway,
he's got hands.
He's got the most receptions in the league this year.
Really?
Yeah. Chase might have just passed him.
Yeah, with the 11
with
or
Thursday
10,
because he's got the extra. Yeah. But yeah, as far as like catches per capita,
per game.
Yeah, per game.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't really expect that. I have him in one of my fantasy leagues, and I feel like he's having a down year. But
yeah, I did too.
Maybe just like he's just getting a bunch of screen passes and like.
So that offense looks like it could be opening up. Although they didn't look that great all game, they just kind of pulled away and won. But the Jets could be. Yeah. We've been talking about the Jets for a while.
Got a great defense. They're in the hole, but they can. If anybody can turn around, never doubt on A-Rod.
Yeah. Okay. Quickly recapping the rest of the last week so that we can talk about this one. The Bucks put up a great game against the Chiefs. I really enjoyed watching that. Baker Mayfield's a dog. He's down two of his best options, his 2 best options, and still took him to overtime. Decided not to go for 2, kicked the field goal, and then they lost the coin flip, they being the Bucks. So Kansas City took the ball and scored, and they never got a chance.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the going for 2 because what just happened? With Bengals and Ravens, same exact situation. They were away, and they had a decision to tie it or go for 2. And they decided to go for 2, and they didn't get it. And, of course, we get a text from Neil saying, you got to take the points and go to OT. And then when the Bucks went for the field goal, in the same situation except in Kansas City instead of Baltimore.
15.
Everybody said, hey, you have to go for 2 there because you're going to, whatever. But it's
you don't want to give 15 the ball. You don't want to give Lamar the ball. You don't want to give Burrow the ball. It's a tough decision, but you got to live with whatever decision you make.
Yeah. So ultimately there will be
conversations about Neil.
I know, Neil. I don't mean to pick on you. Yeah. There's reasonable arguments either way, but somebody will disagree with no matter what you end up doing.
Yeah.
Cool. We're playing Dallas this weekend. Their last interaction with football ended with Dak Prescott saying we effing suck.
Yeah, and injuries out for 6 to 8 weeks. They're saying with the hamstring.
So I hear people like worried that we're not going to cover. We're going to win by like a
touchdown.
I feel like we're going to win by 14 plus points.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm gonna put that like as a ridiculous one. Like we win by 17.
Yeah. With the backup QB, Dallas is playing very, very poorly.
People are like, oh, he's 5-1 against Philly.
Yeah,
I don't care. Cooper when they were very good.
Right.
Prime Zeke.
Yeah,
all that. Witten.
Yeah, I would definitely bet on the Eagles this week. The Cowboys just look so out of it this season. This looks like it's kind of over. I don't know what they're like 2-6.
Yeah, they don't look like they want to play.
No, yeah, they look like they're the one to head to Cancun at the end of the year. I mean, but it's a rivalry week. You never know what team you're going to see, but my money would be on the Eagles this week.
Yeah. All right. Well, last quick thing actually, no, I won't even note that. That can maybe be my 2-minute drill because that's just kind of like a milestone for that dude. That's pretty cool. Looking at this week, I think we'll just hop into the parlay of the week coming up. After we can talk our little matchup, but to go through this week's games, maybe we just talk through it while we're putting together the parlay, and we talk about whatever games we want to talk about in the parlay. So, big fantasy news, Ave. What's going on this week?
Like I alluded to it earlier, but it's a big week for me and you. You know, at a crossroads. I think you're top of the league right now.
I think I'm tied
for
top
the league.
Technically
I'm sitting
second.
at 9-9. We played 2 weeks in our league, so we have a game against the median in our league. But this could be a very positive, week for me, or positive week for you. But our last matchup that we had, I just wanted to note that it was a very, very close matchup. But you did not
Perform.
You did not perform in the way because of you picked up a defense during the week.
Oh, yeah, that was brutal.
But you didn't sub them into your lineup.
So I dropped one defense that was starting for another, and just assumed that when that transaction happened,
when the waivers
they
cleared,
would move that team I picked up into my starting lineup, and they didn't. And I don't remember if it was like a London game. The Packers may have had
I don't know. I mean, you were kind of busy that week.
Yeah, I didn't. Maybe I was just busy.
Yeah.
That was the wedding weekend. Yeah. You're right. I didn't start the actual Packers defense that I picked up, and they put up 29. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I would have won that game.
You would have.
And therefore would be clear top of the league.
Yeah.
On points, too, probably.
Yeah. It's a huge,
on
huge
points
swing.
Too. Holy cow.
It's a huge swing, dude.
I'd be above Mike on points and on record. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Everybody goofs. Except Mike. He's like locked in. And Alex, they like love this.
Yeah, I know.
It's so funny.
I check my lineup like Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, like, who do I got starting?
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, Ave and I are matching up. Like
who
I
do
said,
you got, though? Who does the pod have in this matchup? You're already up 30-32, I think, with the Lamar Jackson performance on Thursday. But it's projected to be pretty close. I think it's like 140s for both teams.
Yeah, I'm up to 152 now because of the 33-point performance. But he took a couple kneels, so I lost like half a point on him. I will say, I really like my team a lot this year, but I traded Swift for Evans, and Evans went down. I like Swift. Don't get me wrong, but I have Gibbs. I have Gibbs, Barkley, and Chubb. Not that Chubb's like great, and I have Brian Robinson. So I just wasn't using Swift enough. Now I have Nico Collins and Mike Evans, who I want to play, but I can't. So my flexes and receivers are a little weak, I would say, at the moment. But I've been winning, so we'll see how it goes. Are you confident in who you putting out there this week?
I mean, got Milk.
No D-Hop?
Got Milk is looking pretty good. I lost last week, but I beat the median. I got Wide Neck out there and Brees Hall. Devontae Adams, another Jets player. I got Tyreek, the blackest one. I don't know, do I play Jake Ferguson against the Eagles or do I play Laporta? As you said, can you give me advice on how to beat you this week?
So I'd rather not, but I don't see a world in which you would start Ferguson over Laporta. That's a bad move.
I don't know. Ferguson, he can have a good week, but Laporta, he's been kind of quiet. He's been coming along a little bit lately, but I don't know. Sunday morning, we'll see how I feel.
Yeah, you're right. Laporta has not been serving you justice. So
Mark Andrews is a big miss for you.
Yeah, that sucks. But Kittle's been so phenomenal. Good. But I should have put Andrews in a flex spot.
Dude, I've got Najee Harris playing in jeans in my flex, so you should not complain. But I got 5-head Aaron Jones out there.
Yeah, we'll see. That Eagles D might be great against Dallas. Couple picks, couple sacks. But yeah, so let's talk through some of these games. Jessica, you got anything hot for us? Any matchups or player props that you like?
I'm prepared.
Whoa.
I know. Give me a round of applause. All right.
Golf clap.
Thank you. Okay, so I have a 4-leg parlay, and since we're being professional, I will add in if I feel there'll be something that you could add to this.
All right.
But I'm not going to do that. We have a 4-leg parlay.
Good. That's conservative. It's winnable. That's where we need to be.
All right. So first up is Falcons versus Saints. I'm going to go over 46.5. The line's currently sitting at minus 105. Now, I think they shifted, actually. I might be onto something. Reasoning. And this is from the odds makers worlds, okay? Not from my mind. I'm giving you a factual reasoning behind each of these. So the Falcons have scored more than 30 points in 3 of their last 5 games. They probably would have done that against Dallas if they didn't, apparently, which you guys can confirm, take their foot off the glass in the fourth quarter. For the Saints, Derek Carr's back from injury, and he will, they just think that this is going to be a game that there'll be a lot of rushes
Scoring.
And blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, we're going to go over 46.5. I hate the half points. Never get over them. I don't have anything to add to that, honestly. I think the only
They have to
other
be half
thing,
points.
I don't like it. I think it's stupid. They're just making money off of us.
When you can't tie.
You can push.
Whatever, like that
It's
actually
getting
happens.
hot in here.
I don't like pushing. Oh, we didn't even mention what we're wearing.
In a parlay, though, it's...
Oh, I guess in a parlay. Yeah, that's helpful. Okay, so we got Falcons, Saints
Better than
over
losing.
46.5.
Correct. The next game is going to be the Eagles minus 7.5. No, sorry, minus 7. That's what it's set at, minus 115. This one, you guys actually touched on it. So the Eagles really should not only score by more than a possession. So this is an easy win. I think you really could play with this one. Like, you can have Jalen rushing. Saquon's probably going to have a really, really big game again. Feel free to get creative there. If you want to add to this one, I think it's a safe one.
Mm-hmm.
A safe one to get creative with.
I
that
only
actually
worry
might
with
hit.
if the Eagles go up big.
Yeah, that
in
they
that
might
game,
take him
yeah.
out.
Yeah, that's why
That's a good point.
I think my play around with it would be Saquon rushing.
Or like a
Because
Gainwell rushing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
or Gainwell, even like a
different-
sneaky
yeah.
Gainwell for 15.
I think that's a great thing.
But as the Eagles pull away, they will run the ball to milk the clock. So they're going to hand it off to Saquon to do that. Like, even
They're going
if
to save carries, though. If it's not a close game.
yeah, but it will be a close game at some point.
Yeah.
Like
it starts out 0-0.
Yeah, it's 0-0. Then when it's 10-0 or 14-0, it's going to be 5 to 6 carries for Saquon. And then listen, if it's 20-28-0, okay, Gainwell will come in, but there will be a chunk of the game if the Eagles are winning.
If we're being creative, perhaps go first quarter, second quarter, which I don't actually ever do, but maybe do heavy that for Saquon.
Yeah.
I would go first half AJ Brown, like throwing, because assuming we pull away.
About his injury, though. Is he
Well,
playing
okay,
this
then
week?
Devontae, like
Yeah.
whoever, or even Hurts passing yards. But I would go second half. Or no, I see what you're saying. Just first half Barkley, because it'll just be a true game.
It'll
But
be
I think
real.
Barkley rushing will be fine because they're going to pull away and they're going to start giving him the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3.
Mm-hmm. Number 3,
Nice.
Colts plus 3.5. So the thoughts are that
Black A.
the Bills have. Here's the thoughts.
Ooh.
You can fight
Yeah.
back. They have a big revenge game coming up against the Chiefs, says the NFL world.
Okay.
Also says the NFL world. They're pretty equipped to be in the playoffs. So this is a game that people believe they could take their foot off the gas because they don't want to get hurt, this and that. They think it's a good game that they could see why Buffalo would just go through the motions in this game.
I am going weird degenerate gambler mode here and falling onto your team. I think that line should be even worse, which tells me...
by the way, it was at 4.5 and it moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're on to something, boys.
So it tells me like people are going to want to take Buffalo because it's so low.
Yep. I think the Colts, I think, and you can
Wait, so if
look
it
into
moved to 3.5 and it
People
was
are
at
betting
4.5.
on Yeah, people are betting on the Colts to cover.
I'm pretty sure that do the Bills have injuries on both sides of the ball as well?
So
they're
then
going to
rest? Now I don't like it again.
Too bad it's not your bet.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the money's coming in on that.
That's fine. Go ahead. What's your fourth one?
The fourth one is Dolphins plus 1.5.
Yeah.
So this one I actually took a note on. So the home team, which is the Rams, they sit at -3 going in when it opened. Now Miami sits at just 1 point underdogs, which suggests to people who look at numbers that they believe there's going to be something weird with an overwhelming the Rams offense. Something's going to happen. Yeah. You could alternate spread this to +3 if you're nervous.
Because that's where it opened.
I like the Dolphins with Tua. It's just the injuries.
You love the Dolphins with Tua. Yeah, the Rams are getting Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back, but I think these two teams are kind of in the same situation where they've had injuries riddled. Are they in Miami?
I don't think so. Are they in Miami or LA?
Sorry, what was the question? I got a text.
Is the game in Miami or is it in LA?
It is in LA.
LA.
Yeah, I think it's a fun little bet.
I mean, my thing is I'd rather just take Dolphins money line at that point. I think
it's so close.
And just hope for them to win.
Yeah, and better odds.
I'm gonna read this off so that we can edit it and put the signs in. So, Falcons Saints game
over 46.5.
Falcons Saints game over 46.5. Eagles against Dallas. Eagles -7.
Feel free to play with that. Do what you need.
Colts and Bills. We have Jessica's Colts +3.5, and then Dolphins Rams. Dolphins +1.5 on the screen now, and they will be leaving shortly. So take a screenshot. Okay, Ave, the Verstappen curse is over.
Wow, all it took was the worst weather we've seen on the grid this whole year.
Yeah,
and Brazil.
Yeah, it was an interesting and fun race. Pierre was here to watch it, so he was excited. But rained like crazy. Verstappen has a lot of experience in that because growing up, his dad would force him to practice in the rain. And right here, he started 17th, finished first. First time he has won since we have started the podcast. So good for him. He deserves it. He's the best driver. It was a bit silly at this point.
He's the best driver, and in those conditions, it was an absolute masterclass. He was just pulling away from everybody else. As you see, he's going from 17th to first place, and I don't think it was like particularly close. He was just like outperforming everybody else on the track that day. He won by 20 seconds total. So it was just a masterclass,
Yeah, and so big ups to Verstappen, but great day for French racing. Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly for Alpine. They finished second and third, so huge day, particularly in the Constructors' Cup, I guess, because that's two podiums. Not like Ocon. How do you say his name? Ocon. And Gasly are actually going to compete, for the Drivers' Cup, but really good for Alpine in the team competition.
Mm-hmm.
So where does that leave us on the season?
That leaves us with Verstappen sitting in first with 393 points, and he widened that gap to 62 from Norris, who's sitting at 331 points. And then Leclerc has 307 points. Those are the only three drivers that have above 300 points on the season. It's becoming that race kind of didn't seal it officially, but it's a huge lead now for Verstappen. He'd have to not finish the rest of the races,
and I think 3 races left.
Yeah, somewhere close to that. We still got Vegas left. I know that. I don't know where else we're headed.
Is that who's wearing 66 for City?
Simpson Poozy.
Why is he wearing? Because does he love Alexander Arnold or something?
No, he's just a young kid. They just gave him any number probably, but his name is literally Simpson Poozy, like Pusey.
Wow.
Hilarious. I saw somebody on Twitter. It's like he's related to him, and he was just watch. What he does is he streams the games and he comments over him. He's what? This is my cousin.
My cousin.
Yeah.
He like had to take a moment. Yeah, that was cool.
He's like, I can't believe this. This is so awesome.
My nephew. Yeah, I think it was his nephew.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, he's like, my nephew's coming on the pitch.
I know we're not like Man City fans, but I think he's like a Liverpool guy maybe.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I know we're not Man City fans, but this is like an awesome moment. Like I've seen this guy from day one dream about this, and he's making his pro debut.
That's cool. Okay, so from Formula One, I mean, I don't think there's much else to cover. Formula One, Verstappen won.
Constructors Championship.
There's, sorry, yeah.
McLaren's still holding the lead there, and then Ferrari is in second, and the gap from Ferrari to Red Bull is really, really close. It's only 13 points, so we could see a jump there. That race is pretty tight, and it'll go down to the wire. But even McLaren's only at 593 points, so. There's a race for the top 3 teams that can be seen throughout those last 2 or 3 races in the season.
Yes. Again, I'm still excited for next year, like the restart, because, well, the door's closing on this season, kind of like we just mentioned. All right, so let's transition back to some team sports. I'd like to talk quickly about college football. First, this was, I think, 2 weeks ago, but we didn't cover it, and I wanted to get your take. Travis Hunter went on to the college game day interview thing, and he had a big flag over himself. And to be fair, it wasn't just for him. It said Travis Hunter, and it said Shadur Sanders, but there was like a Heisman trophy image on it and Heisman stuff all over the place. It's starting to rub me the wrong way. It's starting to get annoying here. Like, I believe he's a Heisman candidate and a special player, but... And it's fine if somebody asks him about it to respond confidently, but to show up in a flag that says Heisman makes me want to root against him, to be honest. Thoughts?
I don't really care. No, I mean, you got to market yourself. I mean,
why?
You want to just let the game do the talking?
Market yourself to who? He's like the third most grossing NIL player, and he's on Heisman watch. You don't need to show up with to me, you just look like an asshole. And I like Travis Hunter. I don't think he is an asshole, but it's just like, why wear the flag? Like, when you get there, they're going to immediately ask you about the Heisman. Like, you don't have to remind anybody. You've already done the work. You're kind of, to me, you're making it worse now. You did the hard part.
I don't mind it. I didn't see this. It was like you should have like game day or something with this.
Yeah, like with the. Yeah, I don't know. He's just like
Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really rub me the wrong way. It's just like he just showed up there. He's confident in himself, and he's marketing himself. He wants the voters to know. Get out there and
get out there and vote for Heisman.
He's knocking on your door. He's doing the thing. He's making his rounds.
Yeah, I just think like Ashton Jeanty over at Boise State. It's like he's also putting in that Heisman work.
Yeah,
and he's humbly just like
he's also not playing at Colorado. It's like he doesn't get the TV time as Colorado did.
I guess, but Boise State would maybe beat Colorado.
Maybe. Colorado's actually pretty.
They're both ranked, but they're kind of in a similar situation. Yeah. Like not well.
I mean, I would say
they're great football schools.
Boise State's not in the what the league is Colorado in now?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say Pac-12. Yeah, everything's mismanaged all over the place. I don't know what league they're in, but they're in they get more TV time. They get more coverage. I mean. I'd probably give it to Genty at the moment, or Genty at the moment.
Genty, sorry. So regardless, I know we talk about Hunter and Genty every time we talk college football, but I did want to bring up 2 other people. Jessica, I'm drawing a blank. Can you look up the running back's name from Iowa this year and his stats? This guy's incredible. Like
better numbers than Genty?
They're like just below, but he's playing for Iowa.
It's Big 12. Big 10?
No.
Big 10.
Big 10. Yeah. Big 10.
Are you thinking of Caleb Johnson?
I am.
Yeah. He's second in rushing yards with 1279. Rushing touchdowns, 19. He also broke the program's single season record for scoring 126 points and 21 touchdowns in the game against. What?
No, not in the games.
Oh, he just has them. Okay. I read that in parentheses. And touchdowns in a game against UCLA. It said after that in parentheses 21. 21
yeah, so anyway, that dude is insane.
Never heard of this guy.
Yeah, he's great. And that's where, running backs are good from Iowa. That's where Breece Hall's from. And that's tight end. white DB and running back university. That's what
That's
Iowa
where the
produced.
gene
And
is.
you
The
know,
gene.
offensive line too. And then Cam Ward from Miami.
Yeah.
He is
He a dog.
not only is he putting up stats, but you watch him play, it looks so easy for him. I won him on my fantasy team for Dynasty next year with my super flex quarterback. I just think he sits there in the pocket and like things are running around him, and then he just
It's calm.
It looks like Rodgers the way he throws. He's very impressive to me. Not that I'm any sort of quarterback scout, but the way even like Shadur Sanders plays is impressive. He's so athletic and he's mobile and he has a nuke for an arm. But Cam Ward like looks like he's on a field with people moving slower than him.
Yeah.
Like he's
just already a pro, right? At this given
exactly.
time,
So I don't know how well it'll translate. We can get, a football guy on here to really talk about Cam Ward, but very high on him for Heisman watch and for his professional career in the coming years.
I got to watch more of Miami play. I haven't watched too much of them.
Yeah. So that's all I had for college football. Do you have maybe some rankings we can run through? Jessica, can you look up the current FBS rankings?
It's probably not much. It's probably changed. It's probably like Oregon
won,
Miami,
Ohio State.
Well, Penn State just lost
to Ohio State. Yeah. So, but it wasn't really competitive. The only thing I'll say too before this, Georgia's ranking. Carson Beck, I've only seen him play poorly.
Yeah.
I don't get it. He plays for Georgia, which I think if I had to put money on it, will win the national championship.
Yeah.
And they win the games, but like I'll watch this first half, he'll be horrible, and then I'll like not be as interested in watching the second half, and somehow they come back and win. But like he'll throw a screen and his wide receiver will run like crazy. I don't get it. I'm out on Carson Beck. I think his face is tough to look at, and I hate watching him play football. Is that harsh?
A little bit.
Yeah. Do you like him?
No, not really. I mean, it's a definite shift from Stetson Bennett to Carson Beck.
Yeah. I don't think he's that good.
Yeah. I can agree with you. I can agree with you there. But I mean, he put it on Texas, so.
Yeah, he did, but still. Anyway, Jessica, can you do like maybe the top 8, 10?
Top five.
All right.
Really?
Pretty much did it. What are you missing?
No, I'm thinking that Miami's not ahead of Ohio. I guess they just beat Penn State.
Yeah. No, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, and you said Georgia's number 2? Surprised about that, too.
Do they have 2 losses already?
No, just one. Just to Bama, I think. And they blew out Tejas. So, I mean, it's just SEC football. They're going to be up there. And Kirby Smart's got them boys playing well, winning games, even if you're saying Carson Beck's not the one that's
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Listen, they know better than me. I hate watching them play.
I hate watching them play too.
Yeah. All right, so let's go from college football to college hoops.
Yeesh.
I have a couple things to add at the end of this, or really just one thing, but you want to run through any sort of college hoop highlights?
Yeah, I thought the biggest thing that happened so far was this game between 2 top 10 teams. It was Baylor versus Gonzaga. Mm-hmm. Baylor being number 8 and Gonzaga being number 6. Gonzaga won by like 40 points.
Wow.
It was 101-63. That is a way to start a season, a hell of a way to start a season. I wanted to comment one thing on this blowout. It was hilarious. Have you seen this? Mark Few's son is on the team, Gonzaga basketball team. He obviously he's not a starter. He gets time when, there's blowout games. So he gets into this game.
And he's playing against his dad now.
No. He's playing. He's on the same team as Gonzaga. Mark Few coaches Gonzaga, so he's on the Gonzaga basketball team. He gets in during the blowout time. It's garbage time. It's going on, but Baylor is still playing their guys. So this guy VJ Edgecombe comes down the lane.
I saw this.
Absolutely obliterates him. Like he dunked through that man.
Yeah, and he got almost jumped over him, but knocked him down crotch on his forehead type dunk.
Yes,
yeah, that was awesome.
Crazy. Like what we used to do in Lob City.
Yeah,
he did that on a 10-foot hoop, bro.
Yeah, that was sick. That was on the story, right?
Yeah.
You guys, you got to follow the Instagram. It's the best account to follow.
That's one of the best dunks I've ever seen. I know it was against Mark Few's son, who's like 6'1", but VJ Edgecombe went to the rafters and just slammed on him real, real bad.
Yes, that was super fun to watch. Who's that Creighton kid? Is he nice?
Kalkenbrunner. He's been very good for a long time. Yeah, he's like 7'2". He's a big dude. They've got
49's crazy.
Yeah,
for college hoops.
Yeah. He plays in the Big East as well, so I do watch them play at least twice a year when they play UConn. He's been solid for a while.
You watch every UConn game?
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
Dude, they look good this year, bro. They got them boys.
Alabama's number one.
Are they?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like the first time. It's weird saying that, but
that is weird.
We should do our rank, like a top 5 ranking of like the best basketball, football, college sports.
Ooh.
We can maybe throw baseball into there. That would make it very interesting.
I can't do baseball. It'd have to be just like SEC.
You just look at the rankings and make your best judgment. Anyway, I think that would be fun. You can add some color. Obviously, you can always add color to this, but like I don't want to be too brief with the college basketball. Just not too much has happened. But something recently I saw that is funny is that Cooper Flag has a twin brother, but they'll never play college basketball at the same time because Cooper
reclassified.
He reclassified to be a younger freshman and go to Duke, and he'll get drafted next year. I mean, I would draft him number 1 overall. Yeah. And his brother's going to Maine, but not until next year. So I just thought that was funny that
and they're twins.
He has a twin brother who's also going to play D1 basketball, but he couldn't wait for him. So they won't get to play at the same time or compete against each other.
I had no idea. They've got so there's this kid that Cooper Flag played with in high school, and he goes to UConn, Liam McNeely, and he's very, very good. But I didn't know that they had another Flag on that same. Did he goes to Montverde?
I guess, yeah. I guess his brother goes there too. Maybe not. Like, there's a chance Cooper just got shipped out there to play. Maybe. But his brother's going to Maine.
Yeah, it's D1 basketball, and they're from that area, so that makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much college basketball for now. As the season develops, I'm sure we'll cover it. But in the beginning, it's just about the rankings, which
for sure. Did you watch the game last night? It was Kansas versus.
No, I was watching the NBA.
Kansas versus Duke. No, it wasn't Kansas.
No
versus
way.
Duke. It was Kansas versus Duke. Played somebody else. It was Duke versus Army. Kansas versus North Carolina. Dude, North Carolina is legit this year. I know that
RJ Davis or something.
Yeah, RJ Davis is the truth. He didn't have that great of a game last night, but dude, they play so fast. It's the best basketball to watch. Like, they fly up and down
the court. Who's coaching them now?
Hubert Davis.
Okay.
Dude, his record is, I think his record's like 91-30. Like, he's got a 700 win percentage right now. He took them to the championship his first year.
Yeah.
So he's
is that the 4 or the 5 that they have? Is he coming back again?
No. He's gone.
Is he playing in the league?
I think he's probably in the G League, but I think.
No wonder he didn't want to get.
He was getting like, so much money.
Yeah, I remember last year he was like, "Why would I go to the NBA? I'm gonna make $6 million off NIL, or I can get drafted in the second round and
play in the G League.
Yeah, and get no more endorsements because no one cares about you. Like, they cared about him in North Carolina,
right? Exactly.
But if you get drafted to the Pelicans, you can't. The endorsements go out the window. Cool. All right. Not much else to cover. I think I'd like to talk about the little soccer news. That's fun. With
for sure.
MSN potentially rekindling.
Yeah.
MSN being Messi, Suarez, Neymar. So what's going on over at Al Hilal?
Neymar, he just got back from an ACL injury. He took a year off. Usually it's like 9 months, but he took some extra time. I don't know what was going on, but he took a year off. He played in 2 games, made 2 substitute appearances, and in his last substitute appearance, he pulled a hammy, and he's out for another 4 to 6 weeks that they're estimating. Quick note: he made this transfer from PSG to Al Hilal for $90 million in August of 2023, and he has played a total of 7 games for the club,
and they are giving him large amounts of money.
Yeah, his contract's up at the end of the 2025 season, so June 2025. There are some reports that Al Hilal may terminate the contract early, which would potentially leave the door wide open.
He's been seen in Miami buying real estate to build a house on, where you would build a house.
Yeah.
So I think he seems like a guy who would like to live in Miami.
A lot of people do. I mean, it's obviously
Fort Lauderdale, like around Miami.
It's so easy for Spanish speaking people to live in that area because That's all they speak down there, and it's
Yeah.
very, very nice. Like, who wouldn't want to live in Miami?
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous down there.
Yeah, and now that the MLS, I mean, listen, he was getting paid probably $100 million a year
Yeah,
in Saudi Arabia,
no, tax free
to not play.
Yeah.
I think I'd be surprised. Well, with endorsements, like in the way they structured it for Messi, maybe he gets to like 40 to 50 million.
I don't think they get that much money, but they get equity in like the league. They get equity in like Messi, like every single jersey that's sold throughout the whole MLS. It doesn't have to be his.
Oh,
He gets
so it's not a contract.
I mean, they still get a lot of money, but like they
Yeah,
get
yeah,
incentives or they bake in a bunch of stuff.
Right. So
they
I'm
can
saying,
make
like,
more
as
money.
far as complete profit wise, I'd still doubt that it would be even half of what he was
No, it
getting
wouldn't
in
be close.
Saudi. But like, how much money do you need at that point? And also, he gets to play with Suarez and Messi again.
The only thing I would say is like as the league continues to grow, like those percentages will add up. So like over time, he'll make a lot more money.
Yeah,
Then,
I wonder if there's like after 10 years, like the ownership drops to 5% instead of 10 or like whatever. Because to your point, like making $1 million this year off of the league, like owning 1% of the league, turns into could be 100 million.
And I think they're going up to like 32 teams in the next couple of years. So they're growing. They've been doing very, very well.
Yeah. So anyway, Neymar may come to the MLS. Thought that was super cool. He's still got skills that kills. He would cook us.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
And when I mean us, I mean just American
He's
soccer.
only he's like what, 34, 33?
I don't even think. I would say 33.
Okay.
I don't think he's 34. Can you look up how old Neymar is now, Jessica?
And I would love to see him play. I saw Messi play in Inter Miami. It was so fun. The only concern I would say is like the money wise and like the foreign players. So Messi needs to get like American citizenship, or Suarez needs to get some American citizenship so he can actually register these players.
He's 32.
32, yeah. So he's got a lot of time to cook.
Yeah.
He's already made his money. Let's just have some fun, dude.
And I think he will. Like, he's going to be like Messi has been quoted as saying, like, I'm happy again playing soccer. Like, when he, like, the last year in Barca and then PSG years, he was not.
Dude, I was watching.
Playing with Mbappe is not fun.
It's a drag. I was watching some documentary and they basically went over the whole saga. Like, he literally signed his contract with Barcelona. Then that same day, like 5 hours later, they said, we don't have the money to register you, so you have to leave.
Yeah. Yeah. He was very, very, very sad. Obviously crying because.
And all the players were, the staff were like.
And what sucks is like a lot of people, which honestly is reasonable, were like, why doesn't he just take a pay cut? Why doesn't he just do? I'm like,
Spanish
I'm
laws
pretty sure
forbid him from not getting paid for his services.
Yeah, he did all he could. He would have played for free.
He literally would have. Yeah, he would have paid for free.
But it's
illegal.
They had like so much debt that they couldn't even like pay him $1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, did you want to touch on Mbappe's woes?
I mean, you brought it down. You said
nobody. Sorry, it was kind of natural. But yeah, so Mbappe, what a talent! But he seems to only be able to have chemistry with France. Like, and even then,
now,
get frustrated. Well,
now it's a question mark. He didn't get called up to this next international window with France.
But if there was a real competition,
he'd probably be playing.
They're just not worried about.
Apparently, there's some rift with Deschamps, though.
I mean, Pierre called it from day one. I disagreed because of the talent.
Yeah.
But like, listen, there's so many clips of him goal opportunities missed, not like physically shooting and missing, but taking a harder shot.
When he could have laid it off or whatever.
Laid it off to Neymar or Messi.
Yeah.
And sometimes he makes a shot and it looks great and it's cool. But like Messi and Neymar, yes, they can be flashy and yes, they're the best dribblers in the world, maybe ever. But because of that, you don't do the dribbling just to have a hard shot still. You do the dribbling and the passing so that it's a tap-in goal.
I love that. I'm all for that.
Mbappe's like, oh, I want to have the craziest goal ever. It's like, no, let's be efficient and dribble and do all these tiki-taka passes. And then bink, we tap it in. Or like the other is, okay, make a banger shot. But like he does all the work, all the dribbling, and then tries to hit a banger. It's like, what was the point of all that? You might as well just pass it back to me. I could have shot.
Go for clips, bro.
Exactly.
He's clip farming on the soccer pitch.
So I didn't see this quote from Thierry Henry, but he's not loving the way Mbappe's playing.
Do you want me to read this out?
Sure.
So this is Thierry Henry does the commentary and the analysis for the Champions League games, and Real Madrid had just lost, I believe, 2 straight in the Champions League. So this is what Thierry Henry, the great Thierry Henry, said about Mbappe. He says, "It is Bellingham who behaves more like a number 9. Making the runs and trying to make the team play. He never runs. It's not good enough. One thing that was spoken about is how will Ancelotti balance the team. Rodrigo gave the team balance." So he's just saying that Mbappe is like, in terms of, putting a puzzle together and making a squad, Real Madrid was already a complete squad, and they added a huge piece, and now, they can't fit him into the squad, and they're not having the best win-loss record trying to, fit Mbappe into the team, which is, it's very, very true. You can see it in everything.
Yeah, I still don't. And I mean, I just feel like if there was a player who was like that as a coach, you just have to eventually sit him down and be like, hey, you need to do this.
What about paying him $100 million?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying bench him, but like just have a very obvious conversation. Like I don't, goal Holland.
Of course. Inevitable.
What a weird goal. He kind of just kept tumbling forward. He kicked it on it was great receiving of the ball. Like the pass came in and he just pushed both defenders off. He never actually touched the ball until he shot off the goalie, mumbling and jumbling in.
He just scores for fun. It's like I got a magnet in his boots to the goal.
Way on. And then
so strong.
Bink. Yeah.
Determination.
He's just strong and fast. And it's a great way to receive the ball. Like
he does make dynamic runs.
Yeah, he's great.
And he's great at finishing, obviously. You don't score, 30 plus goals in back-to-back Premier League seasons.
Yeah. The City's up 1-0 as per usual. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I just think when you see a talented player, you're prone to just be like, well, it's worth it. Just let him play how he wants. But I don't know. At a club like Madrid.
Yeah. Where you already have 2 or 3 of those players that are super, super talented.
Yeah, just nut up and say, dude, this is how we need to play to win. Like, we expect to win this isn't PSG or Monaco where, like, you being the best, like, wins the game. Like, I'll sub someone in for you. Like, it doesn't...
And they'll do the job. The thing is, like, you have to track back, play defense. You have to be in shape. Like, you have to...
But I could see it even being worse than that with Mbappe. Like, not even track back and play defense. Like, even just, like... check to the ball when we have it instead of just, like, you're not Messi.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You're really not.
Nobody is. This the one player like, in the whole history.
He just turns around and like looks at the field. I saw this awesome clip. It was like a minute-long clip, and the ball's being passed around and stolen and back and this, that, and the other, all within like 20 yards of him. And he's just standing there, and he's like looking behind him, and then there's like 3 Argentinians against like 4 Spanish guys, and they're just going back and forth. And he like makes no effort to even walk. Like it gets passed right past his feet, and he just kind of watches it. And he's looking around, and then it like cuts to black and white. And it's the same video, and like the video shakes a little bit, like whatever, TikTok editing, because it finally pops out to his feet. And he's just been standing there for 45 seconds, looking back and forth. Within 3 seconds, he's taking it 40 yards, shoots, and scores.
He's lightning, dude. As soon as he
it's like he's just scoping it out, and he's like, "Don't worry. Once you get me the ball, I'll just go score."
He literally flips the switch.
Yeah,
and he just like is so determined. Like he made up his whole route, and he just goes and does exactly what he had planned in his mind. Is ridiculous. And he's the only player in soccer that's eligible to just walk around the pitch because he's lightning as soon as he picks up the ball.
Yeah, and it's like he's a string on his foot. I've been seeing the craziest older clips of his, and even the ones of now, it's so difficult to explain because it's not that he does skills that no one else can do. It's that he dribbles in a way that is impossible. Like you watch it and you're like, that's not really, he's defying physics sometimes, it feels like. I don't even know how we got on. Oh, because we're talking about soccer. Okay, this is fair. I didn't want to go off on a tangent about Messi because I know I am.
Speak about Messi. Let
I am prone to do that. Okay, well, I think that pretty much wraps us up, Ave. I am wondering if you have a 2-minute drill for us.
I do.
Because I got to find something cool.
I just want to shout out to Jaron Boots Ennis, who will be defending his IBF welterweight title in Philly tonight. The Philly native will be fighting at the Leah Cora Center, which is great. There is a lot of people that want to see a potential fight between him and Terrence Bud Crawford. I don't think that this fight will ever materialize because of the age difference, and also Bud Crawford just went up to fight in a heavier division. He's fighting in super welterweight now, and he just won the title recently. But I kind of went down this rabbit hole on Errol Spence, and the belt that he holds now actually formerly belonged to Terrence Bud Crawford. And the way that he won it is after that Terrence Bud Crawford fight between him and Errol Spence, which was one of the biggest fights, probably the biggest fight we've seen since the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder trilogy. It was a fight that everybody wanted. Eventually, Terrence Bud Crawford beats him in like 7 rounds and pretty handily. But he won that belt from Errol Spence there in that fight. And then after that fight, Errol Spence actually activated the rematch clause, which then the IBF, who holds the title, wanted to see the Jaron Boots Ennis fight versus Bud Crawford. And obviously, he was contractually obligated to fight against Errol Spence in the rematch. So he wanted to do that, and that's what he tried to do. The fight never materialized. But
they have to give the belt because it didn't happen?
Well, so the IBF mandated that Terrence Bud Crawford fight against Jaron Boots Ennis, but it was in his contract from his last fight that there's a rematch clause. And once Errol Spence activated that rematch clause, he had to
fight him first.
He had to get in the negotiations at least. And the negotiations took time, and IBF was like, we're not waiting around, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to strip you of the belt. And then they handed it to Jaron Boots Ennis. So it'd be a full circle story if they ever did fight, but I don't think it'll happen, but it'd be fun to see. But Errol Spence, 32-0, 29 knockouts. See him fight Leah Center tonight.
Wow. Nice. That was an in-depth, very good 2-minute drill.
That was 1 minute and 47 seconds.
Wow. Appreciate you. Mine will be shorter than that, which is boring, I guess. So sorry.
Mine was boring too if you don't like boxing.
No. So I just want to talk about our boy Jay Jettas, who is Justin Jefferson, for those who don't know. A pretty cool stat I came across this week was the most receiving yards in the first 5 NFL seasons. Torrey Holt is number 1 with 6,784. Randy Moss is number 2 with 6,743. And Justin Jefferson is number 3 with 6,545. So he's in his 5th NFL season, and there are more games to be played. So he will end up being number 1. Yeah. But even more impressively, and Jerry Rice is 4th, by the way. More impressively, he must have been injured. He was definitely injured for a decent amount of time because Torrey Holt and Randy Moss both played 80 games in their first 5 seasons to get to that 6,700-yard mark. Justin Jefferson has only played 67 games and is at 6,500. So that actually translates. I have another stat here really quick. Now, this is most receiving yards per game in NFL history. Mm-hmm. So if you ran the numbers I already gave you Justin Jefferson's games and yardage, but I'm going to go in reverse order here. It's Tyreek Hill in 5th at 80.2 yards. Mm-hmm. Julio Jones in 4th at 82.6 yards. Antonio Brown in 3rd at 84.2 yards. So this is per game in NFL history. Number 2 is Calvin Johnson at 86.1 yards per game in NFL history. Guess what Justin Jefferson is at? And you can kind of do math if you remember the numbers, but it's okay.
Like 107?
98.3 yards. So he is 12 yards per game above Calvin Johnson. And I know he's not done his career, and everyone else on this list is, but he's 5 seasons in.
Yeah.
So he will regress, I'm sure, but he's also going to get better.
Yeah.
So anyway, Justin Jefferson is super legit. And honestly, I mean, Kirk Cousins is a great wide receivers quarterback, but like it's not like the greatest. Right. So who knows? But Jefferson's
crazy.
An all-time receiver.
Yeah, in less than 5 years in the NFL.
Exactly. So there's my 2-minute drill. Jessica, you want to round us out?
Sure. I have a fun one. There's this manager. So we talked about college basketball for Maine.
College basketball?
Well,
she doesn't.
That's how I talk. Thank you.
No. It's from 8th grade. We used to.
Great.
Want to watch some
college basketball? We had a weird substitute teacher. Yeah.
Anyway, so Maine, who I don't really watch, but they have a manager so Maine just played Duke, and this manager came out. What?
They did.
That's where the Flagg brothers are. I brought it up earlier. I didn't even realize they played. So Cooper Flagg's brother.
Correct.
Okay.
And Cooper Flagg was at this game.
Yeah,
watching
playing.
his brother.
No,
The
Cooper Flagg was
manager-
playing.
Other way around.
Yeah.
Cooper Flagg was playing, and his twin brother, who's not in college
in high
yet.
school.
Oh, because they're all from Maine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it. So, yeah, whatever. So
We're jamming up her 2-minute
are.
drill.
Yeah. It's gonna
As
be a 2 minutes
usual.
and 30-second drill.
this guy, his name's Simon Allen. He's Maine's manager. You know, you have the basketball managers.
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of like, it's a great gig because usually it's good for
Get all the gear.
Yeah, you get everything. You move on. Like usually, you're working in sports. Great
Yeah.
job. This guy Simon puts on an absolute show at halftime. Starts dunking, like completely, like the Duke fans are going crazy. And it turns out that this guy Simon is actually legit at basketball.
Yeah.
Dropped 42 in high school without any free throws. Like legitimately,
Yeah.
really, really good. And there's like a whole stories on him now, and everyone's
He's about to get signed, bro.
Yeah.
Get this man a 10-day in college
No, because
basketball.
like he's, there's people watching now, and
Yeah.
I'm curious. Let's follow this guy Simon Allen and see what ends up happening. The internet does wonderful things,
Yeah.
so I'm curious.
He's gonna end up playing D1 basketball next year. Get Simon, dude. If Maine has like a poor season, I'm like, yo, where's Simon at?
Yeah,
I
you
think
gotta
he
sign
scored
Simon
over.
up.
I think he like entered the 1,000-point club in high school too.
That's
Like,
so
he's
crazy.
not. He
Yeah.
played at like Central whatever at
Yeah.
Maine. If you know, I don't.
No, we don't need. I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Yeah. Let's keep an eye on my boy Simon Allen.
For sure.
Well, that's cool. Thank you, Jessica. All right, well, that's all we have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Follow the Instagram, subscribe if that's possible. All the stuff. We're doing the things.
Link in bio.
Links in the bio. Follow Insta, like comment. It's fun. We're always listening. Oh, like what? That we're gonna start uploading? We're gonna start uploading in the middle of the weeks instead of the weekend, so that it's more listen
Conducive,
toable.
yeah.
And like when we talk about the weekend, you don't have 4 hours to figure out what we're talking about before it's over. And yeah, thanks again. We'll see you
In the next one.
later.
18.
Yeah, 18.